Hello everybody, here I'm back. Today I want to do a sit down of the war game Red Winter by GMT Games. I've posted a couple of videos about a couple of sessions that I've played, and I'd just like to give you a little review of the game. This is a very personal review, obviously, so it's how I see the game, what I enjoyed about it, if I like it, yes or no, and if so, why. So first of all, Red Winter is a tactical game, and it describes the conflict between the Soviets, who tried to, in 1939, from the 8th to the 12th of December, tried to invade an area in Finland, and the Finnish resistance to this attempt. The game is turn-based, and each turn a different player is player one. In the beginning it's always a Soviet player, and then with morale changes it becomes the Finnish player afterwards. The game is very light on counters. It's got one counter sheet only. It's got a normal paper map, which in my opinion is beautiful and also extremely functional, because a lot of the information that you require, movement allowance, etc., which areas are victory points, where is the supply base, where do you bring people in, is printed on the map. So you don't really have to consult the rules all the time. The same goes for the counters. You can either play the game as a whole campaign, and then on the counters you will see which unit will come in when. So basically you have a unit, you have a turn figure in the top right hand corner. It will also tell you, for example, if one of the units comes in at less movement than normal on their first turn, you have a little indication there. If they have to come in a certain area or in a certain hex, it'll say so on the counters. So I really like that, because although there is a lot of information on the counters are never overloaded. You never get the feeling, oh my god, this is completely crammed, I can't see, I can't read the information. It's very clearly done. The counter art work as it is, I mean, it's the normal NATO designations for the infantry, and then you have a couple of pictures for the different types of artillery, so very easy to read. So full marks on those counts. With regard to the rules, I really like them. They are extremely well written, absolutely clear, and I think as far as rules go, probably one of the best rule sets I've ever seen. And you can actually see this if you look at the setup or at the out-of-the-box video that I did. I'm going to link to it so that you can look at it for yourselves. You can also download the playbook and the rules, the latest versions, from the GMT website if you want to see what I'm talking about. The playbook itself is full of information about the history and the historical events. It contains loads of pictures which are very evocative, which give you an idea of, you know, what went on, so it really illustrates it very, very nicely. You also have your dice that come with it, 4 6-sided dice, 2 blue, 2 red for the different sides. You also have your charts that come with it, which are really easy to read. Which also brings me to the most important point, as some people might argue, what about the Chrome? Is there a lot of Chrome? Is there a lot of stuff to look up? Is there a lot of complicated rules which may be important and add to the game, or which may be, oops, that was the cat moving the camera, or which may actually be detracting from the game? And I have to say that all of the options and all of the die rolling and all of the rules are there for a very good reason, which becomes absolutely visible as soon as you start playing. You never feel the rules detract from the game. The game plays really fast. the game plays really tensely. You know, you really root for your group, you really want to move your units to make the best tactical choice, and you have plenty of those tactical choices. There is enough rules to model different types of events. So for example, there is a so-called night turn, during which you can do night raids, if you're the Finnish player, which give you some advantages, but also some disadvantages. Also during the night, you have to take care of making sure that your guys don't freeze to death. There's a sub-zero loss, step loss, die rolling at the end of the night phase. And when I say die rolling, it's really basically you roll per stack. You roll a d6. It's very easy, very, very simple. So unlike, for example, Citadel, where they, and you can view that video too, where they kept adding rules and oh this would be nice to do, so let's have a rule for that. Oh, and we could really do this as well. Let's do that as well. And they basically piled loads and loads and loads of rules and ideas and events onto that little game and destroyed it. Here you have just enough rules to make the game realistic, to make the game interesting, to make the game fun and tense, and also to keep the game in line with historical events. But on the other hand, it doesn't really overload you with rules. I believe that this is a gateway game. You've never played war games before on a tactical level. You can play this game and you can get into it, because what I also like, and I'm going to mention this as well, is the way the campaign is set up. You can either play the whole campaign through, all the 5 days, and you just follow the turn track. The turn track is really easy to follow. It gives you exactly what's happening. Do you get ammunition for your off-map artillery? Do you get reinforcements? How many? Which ones? Where do they come in? Additional information about replacements, about the possibility to bring back, to rebuild eliminated units, etc. It's all on the turn track. Very, very easy to follow. Very little time spent rereading the rules while playing. So basically it's all in there. And you can also break down, or they actually do it for you. In the playbook, they have broken down the whole campaign into different chunks that you can play. You can dive in and just, let's say, play day 1 or play day 5 or play day 3. So they've broken them down into small chunks. And they also recommend that you should basically use those chunks to come to grips with the mechanics, to get a feel for the game before you then enter into the campaign. But you can also say, well, if you play on your own, like I do, you might not want to do the whole campaign on your own, but you can actually say, okay, I want to do this, and then I can play this in an hour or in 2 hours, and then I can just tear down the game again. So that is very, very good. So I really like what they've done there, because this game really caters for 2 players, but also for 1 player. It's completely fine for 1 player to play the game and enjoy it, and play different aspects of the game, play around with different parts of the game, different events as well. So in my opinion, this is a must-have game if you're interested in World War II, and if you're maybe also interested in playing something that isn't necessarily one of the major battle theaters, you know, and to play maybe something that's a little bit out of the way. And if you are new to this kind of game and you're kind of wondering, is this for me, is this not for me, I would give this a try, because all of the rules that you would find in other games are there, but first of all, they're much better explained quite often, and the way the die rolls are structured is nice to play. You don't have to roll all the time. It's not a dice fest, and it doesn't detract from the enjoyment of the game. And the game plays really fast, which is what I really appreciate, because I'm a little bit of an impatient person. So my next step in this is that I'm hoping to play the campaign by email, and we'll see how that goes. And if I do, if my partner in crime is going to agree to this, then I'll let you know how this plays out. So that's all from me. This is Red Winter by GMT Games. You can get it. It's in print. You can also visit the site at Board Game Geek. You can also visit the game page at GMT, where you find the latest playbooks, errata, Q&A, and I believe that there's also some artwork that you can download to take a look at the counters. And other than that, enjoy the game, because I believe it's one of the best games out there.